Bitcoin and the law intersect in various ways, posing both opportunities and challenges for individuals, businesses, and regulatory authorities. Here's what you need to know about the legal aspects of Bitcoin. 1. Regulatory landscape. The regulatory landscape for Bitcoin varies significantly from country to country. Some jurisdictions have embraced Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, while others have implemented strict regulations or outright bans. Regulatory issues related to Bitcoin include taxation, anti-money laundering, AML, and Know Your Customer, KYC, compliance, consumer protection, securities regulation, and licensing requirements for exchanges and businesses operating in the Bitcoin space. 2. Taxation. Bitcoin transactions may be subject to taxation in many jurisdictions, including capital gains tax, income tax, and value-added tax, VAT. Tax authorities have issued guidance on how to report Bitcoin transactions for tax purposes, including buying, selling, trading, mining, and receiving Bitcoin as payment for goods or services. Failure to comply with tax obligations related to Bitcoin could result in penalties, fines, or legal consequences. 3. AML and KYC compliance. Many countries require Bitcoin exchanges, wallet providers, and other cryptocurrency businesses to implement AML and KYC procedures to prevent money laundering, terrorist financing, and other illicit activities. These regulations typically involve customer due diligence, transaction monitoring, suspicious activity reporting, and compliance with international standards such as the Financial Action Task Force, FATF recommendations. 4. Consumer protection. Investors and consumers involved in Bitcoin transactions may be vulnerable to fraud, scams, hacking, and other risks. Regulatory authorities have issued warnings about the risks associated with investing in Bitcoin and have taken enforcement actions against fraudulent schemes and unregistered securities offerings. Consumer protection measures include investor education, enforcement of securities laws, and regulatory oversight of Bitcoin exchanges and investment products. 5. Legal status. The legal status of Bitcoin varies depending on the jurisdiction and regulatory framework. Some countries have recognized Bitcoin as legal tender, digital currency, or a commodity, while others have imposed restrictions or prohibitions on its use and trading. Legal issues related to Bitcoin include property rights, contract enforcement, bankruptcy proceedings, inheritance, and jurisdictional disputes. 6. Enforcement actions. Regulatory authorities and law enforcement agencies have taken enforcement actions against individuals and entities involved in illegal activities related to Bitcoin, such as money laundering, fraud, drug trafficking, and terrorist financing. These actions may include arrests, seizures of assets, civil penalties, and criminal prosecutions. 7. Evolving landscape. The legal and regulatory landscape for Bitcoin is rapidly evolving as governments, regulators, and policymakers grapple with the challenges and opportunities presented by cryptocurrencies. Regulatory developments, court rulings, legislative initiatives, and international cooperation efforts continue to shape the legal framework for Bitcoin and its use in the global economy. Overall, individuals and businesses involved in Bitcoin transactions should be aware of the legal and regulatory requirements in their jurisdiction and take steps to comply with applicable laws and regulations. Consulting with legal and tax professionals familiar with cryptocurrency laws can help navigate the complex legal landscape and mitigate legal risks associated with Bitcoin transactions.